Is it going?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going first.
Welcome back on Minimal Mystic. So I know it's been another week of a gap between our last video and this. Shut up! Or between our last video and this video, but that's because we kind of like don't have a whole lot now that the gut is done at the moment. So we've kind of like hit a natural like pause, sort of. I mean, we still have stuff to do, but a lot of it is like planning oriented.
Yeah, a lot of the big stuff, thank goodness, is done. There's a lot of cleanup to do. We get rid of a bunch of stuff that just needs to get out of there and finally get us some more room.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next steps in the process is going to be more on the electrical, and that's going to be a lot more planning first, and it's pretty much going to be down to our time and what we can afford to do at the time.
Right. So that's kind of where we're at in the process.
Because we broke.
We're broke. We're broke. We have 2 boats. We're broke. But yeah, so what we did accomplish was we patched up the holes in the bathroom. So we've got all the hardener, all the epoxy, no more fires. It's all in there. It's all good.
It's like, if you remember how flexible this was before, here.
Barely flexes now. Barely flexes. So now what I'm doing is I'm mixing up some Bondo, and I'm gonna be putting it in these little gaps all over the place. All these little gaps to fill them in and hopefully firm this up so we can put like a nice waterproof solid like membrane on the outside, and yeah, and then we'll be good from there. Bondo, it's good stuff.
Stinks.
It does stink a lot. Got a little Bondo on the cheek there.
Do you really?
I'm disappointed you don't get the reference. And he didn't get my reference, and I'm very disappointed in that. But hopefully one of you got the reference. Death becomes her, you know? Got a little Bondo on the cheek, babe.
I can't be perfect. If I was perfect, then a lot of people would want
Nothing to strive for. So in addition to that, we pulled up the floor in the living room.
Very easy.
Yeah, I honestly like it kind of just like folded up and it just like rolled up. It was really heavy though. Yeah, like that laminate stuff is heavy. Hi, Yosh. This is one of our fur babies.
I don't think I've seen it.
This is one of our fur babies right here. He's the Yosh. He's a Yosh boy.
Here's
and this is the Jagger.
He's like a licorice jelly bean.
He's like, nobody likes him.
I like him.
Hi. Okay, relax.
I've always hated small dogs. I never wanted a small dog, and then this little thing came into my life, and now I just baby the hell out of them.
Leave me alone. And then that one right there is Fonzie. And Luna's over by the door. But yeah, so once the floor came up, Jordan went down into the cuddy cabin, and why are you wet? I don't know, because he's a dog. He's weird. He went into the cuddy cabin and got rid of the ceiling.
So these glasses are gonna fog really quickly, but we've taken down the ceiling in the cuddy cabin so we can gain access to all the wiring. So now we can get a really good sense of where the wiring is going and how it's led. And we even see that it's even back there taped to the beam, so even if we were to yank it one by one, it would not have worked. So in order to get to the wires, we had to do this. Unfortunately, this is really strong and a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be, and the way that it was installed makes it extremely difficult to remove. So just being really, even though this is part of the demolition, Taylor's favorite part, I'm stuck doing it because I can fit down here. But yeah, there's no way to get this board out of here, so we're gonna have to do this, and I don't like power tools, so We'll have to see. So you have to push this down and do that. Let's see how this goes. Push up, right?
What?
Yeah. Did you push with your thumb and then push down?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
No, you can't start it on wood.
So today was a bit of a toss-up day. Didn't really do a whole lot. I bondoed the wall in the bathroom and almost caught it on fire again. No, not really.
I don't think we did.
And then Jordan ripped out the ceiling in the cuddy cabin.
It was a pain in the ass. But it does give more ceiling height in here.
Just a little.
Every little bit counts. And we actually got access to wiring now, so you can kind of see how that's where the helm is, right underneath there. And you can see all the wires. Yeah, there's like a hole over there where wires go running down underneath the side decks. And everything looks like it's in great shape. I don't see any, like over there is the only place, that's where the sliding glass door is, but it's still solid and everything, just discolored. So yeah. And we still gotta take off the skins, and that'll pretty much be for the demo for the cuddy, except for the horrible Berber carpet, which we'll be dealing with that at a later time. And he's cooling himself off by the AC. Yeah. Now we should have at least decent access now to wiring all throughout the boat, which has been a big thing because it's all taped up and it's all going in different directions. So even if we were to pull like individual wires, it would not have worked.
Yeah, and so the ceiling's down, and also the sides, the walls are down. And they cut again. Well, the skins on the walls.
Took the skins. And originally you didn't want to, but I was like, again, like, what's behind there?
Yeah, they were good. They were in good condition afterwards. No water damage, so I mean, really, we didn't need to remove them. But better safe than sorry.
But good news is, by removing it, I found additional little mini access holes in the walls that gain us access to the wiring. So that'll make it a hell of a lot easier to... What are you eating? Well, I'm down in the cuddy cabin right now, and I did take off the skins on this wall here. You can see all the way around, and that's the helm right above there, and there's all the wiring.
And I'm really happy to say that the wall is very good, despite being underneath the side decks. And that hole there is gains us better access to the wiring that runs underneath the side decks as well as over there, and which is very good when we run our new wiring and conduit. And we're thinking of going ahead. Oops, my hand's covering the camera. We're thinking of leaving the ceiling off of the beam so we can get like just a few. Oops, lots of dust, just to get a few inches of head height in here. So we'll probably do that. And now I'm gonna be moving on to the other side and removing all the paneling, and skins there.
And then Jordan started to try and make me do some stupid stuff. Doing things that I don't think need to be done. I don't see why.
They absolutely
I don't
need to be
see
done.
why I can't just tap it into the ceiling where it's never gonna be seen again. I gotta go through and pull all these things and waste my time doing it.
It's all part of it, man.
I don't think it's necessary.
It's all part of it.
I don't think it's necessary. This is my new
The guy who says no fake things, no shortcuts, really wants to take a lot of shortcuts.
Shortcut. This is stupid. There's so many hundreds of them.
Yes.
Just tap them up there until they're flat.
Some of them you can, but the ones that are really sticking out, you can't.
I'm not talking about the ones that are really sticking out. I'm talking about the ones that are just like this, like. That is not gonna affect shit. Nothing is gonna get affected by that. It's not. It's not. Look at it. It's flat. It's flush with the wood. See why I can't just do that? This is gonna take a year.
Taylor is the very impatient one. He is, if you need detailed work done, do not use him. He's not your guy.
Patient, and I do good detail work. This is just stupid detail work because it's not gonna matter, because it's never gonna be seen, and it's not gonna affect the structure.
This is why when we do the actual like wiring and all the components for all the DC stuff, this is where I'm gonna have to come in and do it.
Oh, really? Really? Because I was the one standing there for like an hour trying to make plans for the wiring, and you were like,
Tell me how the AC and DC systems are totally connected and all its components and how it all works
that has
together.
nothing to do with
Yes,
it.
it is.
No, it doesn't.
Everything, even the AC, starts with the battery bank.
Okay, sure, why not? But that doesn't have anything to do with what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't.
Keep going, you're doing great, baby. Keep going. Love you. Love you.
Ow. Go away now.
Love me.
You're mean to me.
Love me.
You're
No.
mean to me.
Just because I'm trying to get you to do things that are necessary
It's not
and practicing patience.
necessary. I have plenty of patience to deal with you every day.
I was giving him a test to see if he had the patience for it. He failed.
I have the patience for many things. Stupid things are not something that I have patience for. I got my way. But you know what? So like, okay, a couple of people have mentioned like that we seem to like argue a bit in our. Here's the thing.
Don't argue.
No, we don't argue. And we don't. We really don't. Here's the thing though. Like with any relationship, there's
Passionate love.
friction. And Jordan has a very different communication style than I do. So the biggest thing that I can give anybody for advice is to communicate and listen, because there are so many there's so many moments where he'll say something and I'm like, what? And I get very frustrated and angry, and vice versa. But what it turns out 99% of the time is
Communication.
we're communicating it differently. We're talking about the same things. Like when I say electrical, and this is a big one and he knows, when I say electrical, I am talking about AC electrical, lights and outlets. That is what I'm talking about every time I say electrical. But he is the type.
My head, like when you say electrical, I'm thinking DC system, because it's a marine environment, which boats are DC systems. DC is the main thing, and AC. It's everything and all is electrical. So
Right.
I guess he's normally I am the detailed person. He's bigger picture guy, but for this instance, somehow it's reversed.
Yeah.
I don't know, go figure. So it's just, so if you're doing this or thinking of doing this with a partner,
Don't
or
get
some
mad at them.
relation- Don't get
Communicate.
communicate and,
It should be fun.
and say you're sorry sometimes.
Say you're sorry,
but
even if you're not wrong, like I do all the
But
time.
no, that's me.
Case in point, different communication styles. When I say I'm not wrong, he thinks that means he's not wrong. And then because the holiday weekend was coming up, Jordan preemptively did some work on the Dory.
Yeah, we saw some comments. People like heard about the sailboat and was like, "Show us that." So,
Roll B-roll.
Here is Dory, a 1981 Cape Dory 22. I believe only 176 were ever made, and they are really strong, sturdy pocket cruisers. And I am lucky enough to have hull number 4, the fourth one of these boats ever made. Now I'm gonna take a break from the houseboat projects to clean up this dirty old girl. She's been sitting all winter and most of spring, neglected. So as you can see, she needs some tender loving care. It's a lot of work. Look at you just soaking that up, Dory. Your wood is just so thirsty. So this was exciting for me. I have never reefed my mainsail before. Never had to. I've been into some situations I wish I could, but I've never done it before. Didn't even know if he was in rig to do so, but it was. This mainsail has 2 reef points, but it's currently only been rigged for the first one, and it's down to the first one, and it's hooked to the first reef point there that's been reinforced. And as you can see, it's not all the way up to the top. So this usually, you do this when winds are a little too strong, and you do it to reduce the sail area so you're not leaning over as much, so safety. And there's the roller furler jib. This is a lot dirtier than the mainsail. Here's the UV portion of it that's all rolled up, that's supposed to protect it, but you can see it's dirty. But this definitely has a lot more use, or it feels like it's definitely worn a bit more than the mainsail. It's not as crinkly. Oh, look, a spider. Boats and spiders, I tell you. But I mean, I would say my sails are still in really good condition considering how dirty this one is, but can't wait to get out there and start sailing.
Spent all day scrubby-dubbing and finally got the engine going after not running like all year. and checked the sails. I actually reefed my mainsail for the first time. It was great. And it came in handy because when we went sailing, it was actually very windy, and boy was it needed.
But we did go sailing. We did go out on the lake, and we went on a friend's houseboat, which was pretty fun.
Well, hi. So we are taking a break from projects on the houseboat. We've had some of our friends.
Tom wants to go.
How am I gonna get him?
Jump in and swim.
You gotta jump in and swim. Jump in and swim. Jeez, I couldn't do it. I could.
Take the jet ski out.
How much would you get him?
Tell me, maybe at the end of the dock. Is there anybody at the end of the dock?
Anybody at the end of the dock?
Go to the end of the dock.
Go to the end of the dock.
Is anybody down there?
The end of the dock.
So we're taking a break from the projects. We have friends up here, and they just happened to come by, say hi, and said they were going for just a cruise around and gave us the invite, so we couldn't pass up that chance. So we're actually gonna enjoy the lake for once instead of just doing projects. Look at our beautiful view. This is why I love Lake Lanier and can't wait to live on it. I don't even know if you can hear me because of the wind noise, but it's beautiful.
How's he doing it? His boat's still up there, right?
It is. He has he was like once last year. He's got a couple kids have been going on. I'm actually staying in his house right now. He's been hearing his cats and the house while he's in the West. So Memorial Day weekend, Saturday. This is the best wind day, as you can clearly see. So we're gonna sail for the first time in over a year. Can't wait. So since the wind is a little stronger today, for safety, we're going to reef the mainsail. Which, what that means is we're gonna raise it up, not all the way, so we have less sail area. So we're not gonna lean over as much, and it should be a bit more of a comfortable, safer ride. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah. So we got this bimini, it's all rickety, falling apart, but in the state of Georgia, it gets hot, and the sun is beaming out. If it was cloudy, we would have put it down, but it's a godsend, but then it really blocks visibility, because I really don't have very limited mobility. And the one downside I would say to sailboats, especially ones of this size with an outboard, you can't stop at all very easily. You can't maneuver. Like if I want to reach the engine, do the throttle, reverse, or anything, I have to reach way back here. So I'd have to leave the tiller, and the tiller just kind of does its own thing, making it hard. So it's a process.
Or he could utilize the other people that are on the boat to steer the tiller.
That too, I'm just talking about if someone were to single hand.
With the wind and the sails and the sea, it's behind me.
If you want to know
How far it goes. We're almost dipping in the water at this point.
So we are sailing. We had some good gusts that made us go about, you said almost 6 knots?
Almost 7 actually.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. And this is with both reefed main and jib. I'm not an expert when it comes to sail trim. I just know how to get the boat to go in a direction I want. I don't really care about the racing performance, getting every little bit out of your sails. I just want the boat to go, and I want to have fun. So, and it's not too hot yet. The sun's out, probably gonna get burned, but it feels amazing. Later in the summer, it's gonna be bad. And this is one reason why we want to move there, live there, the dock life, because we have a bunch of friends up there that those randomly pass by and they're just like, hey, do you want to go on a cruise? And we're like, yeah, let's do that. So
yeah, we literally saw a boat, a houseboat. Like we look out the back window of ours and the entire frame of our window is taken up by this massive houseboat. You just never know what you're gonna see when you look out your window when you're living in a houseboat on the lake.
That's a big houseboat.
It's really a huge houseboat.
Extra wide.
Like, just look out the window and then all of a sudden our entire view is obstructed by this massive houseboat. But it's pretty cool. And then we went speedboating and took this little bugger out. So we had a very... No, we didn't get any footage because we suck. Also, we were enjoying ourselves. But he really liked the house. He liked the speedboat, and he went swimming. So, which I never thought this guy would do because he's so picky. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that is what we've been doing now. Like we said, we're in the planning phase of figuring out the wiring that we have to put in. We might be able to get some other stuff done, so we might be able to actually start putting things in this weekend coming up.
Small things, little things, but progress is progress. Okay? So that's what matters. Progress is progress. Momentum, we just got to keep it going. And because I don't want this to become just like so many other things in other people's lives that just a project that they start that they never get to finish and it just sits there and wastes money. And I don't want that. I don't want it. We'll finish this.
Saying right now I don't want it. It's on record.
Calm down. We'll definitely finish it. It is definitely a matter of, since it's just us two doing it, is our time to be able to get this stuff done, and definitely the affordability. We pretty much can only do projects as fast as we can afford it. So especially when currently you only got 2 months left of
this current TV show that I'm on.
Yes, your current contract. He's only got 2 months left, and I'm just launching my business, and it's going to be a slow going venture. And about JordanAlos.com if you want to check it out. I would say JordanAlos.com/the Master Magicians Mentorship Program, because if they go to Jordan Alos, it just takes them to click on it. For some reason, I got to fix that. They have to put the /
By the time you watch this video, he will have fixed it.
Hopefully. But, and looking in my savings, I only got about 2.5 months worth of living expenses left before I am in deep doo-doo because I can't get a job anywhere because he got my car. So
We traded mine for a boat.
So this will cause some tension, suspense, maybe a little
Drama.
Maybe a little drama.
Anyway, if you enjoy what we're doing, like, follow, subscribe. We have a Patreon now.
Yeah, Taylor did a thing.
Yeah, I did a thing, and we have a Patreon now.
He's running the show on that,
so if you want to like support us financially, you can, and you can get gifts and prizes and behind the scenes stuff that don't make it into these videos. Like there's a lot of things that I edit out. Or just neglect to put in for whatever reason. So there's fun stuff, more stuff. Patreon, do it. Patreon.com/Minimal Mystic, just like the YouTube channel. Anyway, catch ya.
Look at the little black licorice jelly bean. Look at him. He does not look amused.
Very unamused.